resources.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what we actually need to do. And I feel like more shows need to happen. Like, I just feel like Minnesota is very slept on in a sense.
Yeah.
And we just need to do better at uplifting one another.
You see I'm Southside reppin', Bigfoot steppin', Zone 3 section is God flow perfection. Hating on the church like I ain't blessed they section. If we ain't talking money, I got a weak connection, that's on the hood. She said get a bag, so I get it, got it good. Don't complain about my problems, I just put it in a wood. Seen a genie the other day, she said make it good. So I wish for good health, then I wish to look, it's chief, not lieutenant. Yeah, I'm back, been a minute, my hard work gets you offended. Shout out my boy academics, you stay independent. You scamming it, behind that twinkle in your eye, see the scamming.
Another episode of Minnesota's #1 daily show live on Lake Street. Special guest in the building, the infamous Sky Storlie.
Hello, hello.
So I've been here. I mean, like, I've known who you were. I don't know if we've ever met or not. I feel
No,
like
I think this
never
is the
crossed
first
paths.
time.
Okay, but I've been hearing your name and known who you are for 6, 7, 8 years.
Oh shit.
You know what I mean?
do.
So I definitely have known who you are and seen the, the things that you do from a distance. So I'm happy to be sitting here talking to you.
Yes. Well, thank you. It's
Welcome
nice
to
meeting
Live on
you.
Lake Street.
Thank you.
So
I appreciate it.
let's start from the beginning. You mentioned that you started modeling from a pretty young age.
Yeah.
What young age was that?
I started modeling at 15.
Okay.
And how I got into it was because one of my family members, they had brought the idea up at like elementary. When you're a kid, you're not really thinking of that. You're just kind of like, whatever, I'm going to go have fun, live my life, play outside.
Yeah.
Play outside till the street lights come on type shit, you know? And middle school came around and I was like, you know what? Why not? Why not give it a try?
Yeah.
And I loved it ever since.
Was it something you were interested in prior to that, or did somebody just planted that in your brain and you're like, oh, maybe I would like that?
They actually planted it in my brain.
Okay.
They seen that I was very photogenic. I love taking pictures, but I never thought to add 2 and 2 together.
Okay.
Because I wasn't really thinking of that. I was just kind of like, oh, I'm going to take pictures. I just, why not?
So being 15, like what type of modeling do you do at 15?
At 15, it was more like beauty, editorial,
Okay.
more like face shots and everything. My very first shoot was based upon my ethnicity.
Okay.
I'm mainly Native American, so
Okay.
I was paying homage to that. And then from there, it was more like, kind of like the senior style pictures.
For sure.
So
Yeah.
that was the start of it.
So did that at any point land you in like any type of publications?
It landed me in some like fashion shows. It landed me some gigs for like, I got asked to be in a Chris Brown music video and like a Future music video. It was like a whole list of things that I got asked to do. It just, timing was horrible.
So you were actually like recruited to be in a Chris Brown video and a Future video, and that didn't happen?
No.
Oh.
I know, right? I was like, okay, at least I know I have potential for that. You know what I mean? At least it shows me what I'm working towards.
So is this when you were still younger?
Mm-hmm. I was, so not like 15 young, but I would say maybe like 18, 19 young.
Okay, so you would become a legal adult at this point.
Yes,
and they
exactly.
So you were almost a video girl.
Exactly.
Damn.
Exactly.
What prevented that from happening?
So I was working for LA Fitness at the time, and they like people to live in their state. This was happening in California.
Okay.
Obviously, being in Minnesota, I can't just hop on a flight and be like, all right, fuck it, But 2 years after that, I started working for the airlines, and so that's what gave me more flexibility to be able to travel, go work with other people, and things of that sort.
Okay. So have you landed any type of opportunities like that since?
I have actually landed a couple. I haven't actually done a lot of the connections yet. I've been kind of more low-key ever since.
Okay. So, but that's something that you want to do?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like it would be really nice to go do video work just to connect with people, kind of broaden my name out more, not to mention just being able to learn more about the music industry, learn more about the modeling scene out there, and being able to hustle.
For sure.
What
about locally?
Locally?
Have you done music videos locally?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've done quite a few local music videos. My very first one, actually, was with this group at the time. They were called Local Swag. Now, that was like 9-10 years ago. High Def had actually recorded it.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was like a minute ago, but it was like, he goes by Tristan Price now.
Oh.
Yep.
I know who that is.
Yep, so he was in the group. Marquise Foster he goes by Aubrey King now.
Yep.
And then the other guy was I don't know. but I was
Okay.
in their video, and that was like 10 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tristan Price. What does he go by now? That's his name now?
That's what his name
Didn't
now
he have
is.
another name?
Yeah, he went by a couple. I don't remember what they are. I just know now he goes by Tristan Price.
Okay. I
But-
know who that is. I swear he had another name. And I know Aubrey King. I know who that is,
Yeah.
obviously, as well.
Yep, and then I did a couple more with Tristan Price. I did a couple more with Aubrey King. I did one with Jay Bree that we never released.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. I was like, really? I like that video, but I guess it was something with like production.
He's popping right now, too.
He is. He really is.
Yeah.
I was like, honestly, I'm so proud of them.
Yeah.
Like him and like Casey and all of them. Like they're really doing their shit.
They really are.
I'm like, okay, go ahead. It was nice to see people like from back in the day that actually really doing their shit, really like putting on.
What city did you grow up in?
I grew up over South Minneapolis.
Okay.
Right over here.
Okay. Southside. Nice.
Yeah,
All right.
Southside, we outside.
Perfect. Okay. So like, what is your main objective in modeling? Like, what do you want to do? Like, if you could pick like one thing under the umbrella of modeling, what would it be?
Honestly, to break stereotypes.
Okay.
I'm shorter, and now like I'm on the curvier side. When I first started modeling, I was very skinny.
Okay.
Very, very petite. A lot of people used to talk shit about it. They used to do whatever. And as I got older, weight gained, but I still want to be able to monetize and utilize it. I don't want people to be like, oh, well, you don't look like this no more, so you can't do it.
Yeah.
Fuck that. I still want to be able to do what I want, no matter
sure.
what, how I look.
I feel like stereotypes, especially over like the last like 5 to 10 years, some of that has been changing.
It has. It has like a lot on social media, especially. It has been a great outlet for that.
Yeah.
Like I feel like more for like the fashion industry, as in like fashion shows. The
They s-
fashion shows, they're
they-
still very
They
strict.
still want you to be tall and skinny and
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the thing I like is that most of our local shows are more like they accept more people. Like they accept more if you're shorter. They accept the curvier size, and that's why I like working with a lot of local artists because they appreciate like who you are.
Yeah. Do we have like a modeling scene here? I mean, I know we have models here, but is there like an actual like scene for modeling in Minnesota? Like, I guess I don't really know.
So I don't really
Like, do we
think
do a lot of like runway shows and shit like that?
we really like we do, but we don't. I
Okay.
feel like it's more like photographers and videographers and designers all kind of coming together as a collective instead of like actually having a group. So what I plan on doing is creating like a booking agency. So that
Yeah.
way we can have like a specific space for models, artists, videographers, everybody in that sort to be able to collectively work together.
Yeah, I think that's good. I think that's a really good idea. Especially
Yeah.
if we want to build, I mean, which we are, building a foundation for entertainment here in Minnesota.
Exactly.
We need more stuff like that.
We really do because I feel like Minnesota, we're very talented, but we're very
Extremely.
slept on
Yeah.
in a sense.
Part
you
of it
know?
is our fault, but I agree with you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It is our fault because, we look past a lot of the talent until a lot of talent gets big. And then it's like, oh, I remember seeing them doing this.
Yeah.
Well, why not give them their flowers now while they're starting and then help?
Yeah. There's
you
definitely
know?
an element to that. Like once we see that somebody's kind of like reached that level, we stop supporting.
Exactly.
It's like, oh, well, they're out there now. Okay. They're good. We don't need to
Exactly.
support them anymore. But yeah, it is weird.
It is.
It's like we support Casey, but then the second we see him with Kanye, it's like, okay, well, he's with Kanye now. So
Right.
it's like Kanye's got him. We're good.
Right. Like
That's
they
not
just
how it
kind of
should
brush
be.
it off.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be like that. You should still want to continue to water each other's flowers.
Yeah.
Make sure everybody got their roses.
Yeah, we need to give these guys something to be proud of. Not to say that they're not proud of being from Minnesota, but it's like
Right.
at some point, like when you see someone like Casey making a post almost denouncing Minnesota,
Right.
saying like, I looked at my numbers and Minnesota's not even in my top 10.
Right.
That's not a good thing. We shouldn't,
Right.
I don't want to see a post like that. That's
Right.
disappointing and it shouldn't be that way.
Right. Exactly.
But that is physical proof that we do that. We once we feel like somebody's reached a spot, we just stop.
Exactly.
That's a problem.
It really is. I feel like people do it as soon as you're validated or as soon as you're verified or whatever the case is. It's just kind of like, okay, like you said, you're done, you're out. Like we don't really care no more.
Yeah.
And it's like in order to continue to grow as a community, to build an actual solid foundation, we have to support one another. We actually have to be there for one another, whether if it's, going to shows, whether if it's going to pop-up events, like anything, it's really just about watering each other.
Yeah. I do see it happening though.
Yeah.
Like I think we're starting to see a foundation being built. I mean, we arguably had a foundation.
Yeah.
I just feel like the foundation that was built initially wasn't really.
Like solid.
I think it was solid. I just don't think it was beneficial to black people.
Oh, yeah. I
Which
agree.
is, you know what I mean? If we're talking specifically about hip hop and black culture, like we can't build a foundation that doesn't serve that community.
Exactly.
And again, I don't want to say, like, I've been corrected
Mm-hmm.
a couple times, you know, like obviously the foundation for hip hop here was rhyme sayers,
Mm-hmm.
atmosphere.
Right.
It's not their fault
Right.
that they got popping, like good for them. But
Right.
it seemed like it, and I've been told that they definitely did serve the black community and try and reach back and things like that. It was just quiet. So I've been corrected on that. But to the general public, it didn't look that way.
Right.
So we need to, you know what I mean? We need to be able to physically see it.
Exactly.
That's kind of what I think anyway.
Right. It needs to go harder. It needs to be portrayed better.
Yes.
Because there's so many people in the hip hop industry that are so talented from here that I just feel like a lot of people just ain't getting their roses.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what we actually need to do. And I feel like more shows need to happen. Like, I just feel like Minnesota is very slept on in a sense.
Yeah.
And we just need to do better at uplifting one another.
Yeah. So with you starting this booking agency, that's something that'll be a part of your booking agency?
Yeah. So what I really want to do is be able to have diversity of people.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be just your stereotype, oh, you're a skinny person or this good looking person. I want it to be everybody, everything. Because, you know, with being able to have booking agencies, with being able to do everything, you need diversity.
Absolutely.
You know, diversity is beautiful.
Mm-hmm. And we have plenty of it here.
Exactly.
More
So
than
why
enough.
not utilize it?
Yeah. No, I agree. So, okay. So anytime I talk to somebody that's in your industry, I want to know, have you had nightmare scenarios with photographers?
Oh, yeah, completely. I've had some real uncomfortable encounters, and I've had to cut off a couple of people because a lot of people, they try to overstep that boundary between models, photographers, like just the business line. They try to overstep it. And it's honestly, I've almost stopped modeling a couple of times because of it.
Yeah.
But I'm like, if this is something I love to do, I'm going to push through it. I'm going to do what I need to do and kind of go forward from there.
Yeah, it seems like, I don't know. Do you know? Maybe you don't know. Is this a problem across the board? I'd imagine it is, but I've heard this story so many times in Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
So many times. Is it? You said has it been multiple times you've had nightmare scenarios?
Multiple times. And it's because a lot of the times when you like look good or you carry yourself a certain way, a lot of people try to treat you as that or think you're kind of like an object, when it's like, no, I'm still a human being.
Yeah.
Don't treat me like, you know, you see me, you see this curvy woman or do whatever and treat me in this type of manner. I'm still a person. I'm still a woman at the end of the day. Treat me as such.
Yeah.
I'm not an object. I'm not a sexual thing. I'm not nothing.
Yeah.
You know?
Is that the biggest pitfall of modeling, or are there other pitfalls?
It can be. That's one of the biggest things. I think another thing is just being able to actually consistently have good bookings too. Because in Minnesota, like, we have a lot of talented people here. It's just constantly being booked. You know, that's another thing. And because Minnesota is still new to like modeling and everything, like it's not as new, but it's still newer compared to like California and Texas and New York, where you always have gigs.
Yeah.
You know, it's always hard to sometimes come across the bigger gigs.
Do you travel a lot?
I did, yeah. I don't right now just because with my little one, of course. But yeah, I went to like Costa Rica, went to Colombia, Puerto Rico. I've done a lot of traveling, especially for modeling.
Yeah. How did adding a new life affect your career? I imagine that has to affect it drastically.
Honestly, it definitely did. It took me back a while because I've gained weight. It just took away my confidence a little bit. Although I loved being a mom. Like that's one thing that'll never change. I love being a mom. Like my little girl saved me. Yeah. But physically, I wasn't comfortable with who I was right then and there. And there's a lot of people that are like, oh, okay, you know, you just got to love your new body and stuff like that. But it's kind of hard when you're dealing with taking care of a new person, getting used to this new body and everything that you have. Like, it's a lot to adjust. So
I can imagine.
yeah, I'm just now actually getting back into modeling.
Yeah. Men are
Like-
very lucky that we don't have to deal with that.
Oh my god.
I mean, even though some men do end up kind of following suit and gaining weight and what do they call it, the sympathy?
Yeah, the sympathy way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if that's a real thing. I think that's just an excuse and a lie.
I think it
but
is too. But I mean, hey, I appreciate it if you're, feeling
Yeah.
some sympathy.
yeah. No, that is definitely something I've heard other women speak on many times about the changes your body goes through when you have a child. Like, and if your part of your career is your body, that has to be hard.
Yeah. It honestly, it makes you take a step back and realize like what's important, what you want to do and everything else.
Yeah.
Because again, with modeling, obviously it's based upon it, your body, your
Yeah.
face, your everything, your outer appearance comes with it.
Yep.
And it took me a while. Like I said, I'm just now getting back into it, finally, because I'm like, I came to the point where I need to love this new person that I am. Of course,
Absolutely.
still working on myself
Yep.
as anybody else is, but learning to love who I am now and accepting who I am now while still bettering myself.
That's great.
Because I feel like as individuals, we tend to forget to love ourselves right now. Even if we're not feeling good about ourselves, is loving ourselves in the moment that we're in now
For sure.
and still focusing on bettering ourselves.
You're absolutely right about that. That's something that I personally have had to work on over the last 2 years. Exactly that.
Yeah.
So, and then really people think like, I'll just speak for myself. I don't want to speak for anybody else. I'll only speak for myself. But like, I'm in therapy, but I don't
Yep.
go to therapy to better myself. I go to therapy to maintain
Right.
the betterment. You
Yep.
know what I mean? Like at one point I need help.
Right.
But then you get to a place where you've gotten the help and you start to feel good about yourself. You start to feel better, but you got to maintain it.
Right.
You have to maintain it. So that's, you know what I mean? That's just,
Yep.
that's just a little game for people watching out there. Like, don't just stop therapy because you think you're better.
Literally.
You know what I mean? Don't just stop caring for yourself because you think you've gotten to a point. Like, you got to continue. It's maintenance. You got to continue to do the maintenance.
Yep. Exactly.
So, okay. I don't know if you can do this. This might be tough, but can you give me a top 5 models in Minnesota?
Top 5. Ooh, that is hard because I know so many talented people.
We're known for our top 5s. People hate
I
it.
know. I don't want anyone to look at me and be like, "Oh, so I'm not this." No, y'all are it.
Look,
You guys
anybody
are
that
it.
here's what I always tell people: anybody that you don't put in your top 5, just assume you're 6.
Okay. You know what? I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
There's nothing wrong with 6.
Okay, let me think. Because there's a lot of people that are out here that I've worked with. And now they live in different states. Now they're kind of like out doing bigger things. There's this girl named Naya Kim.
Okay.
She goes by like Queen Naya Kim. She's like Sundanese, I think.
Sundanese, okay.
Yep, but she went viral. She's really doing her shit.
Okay.
I would put her on the list. So I guess she'd be my number 1.
Okay. Don't have to be in order.
Okay. I'm like, I don't
but
really
now
got an
she's
order.
1 now though. You said
Right.
it. So now she's
I'm like,
number
look,
1.
she's 1. Sorry, but
the other 4 are not in order.
okay. I guess number 2. Let me think. I don't know. I'm trying to think. There's this other girl. Her name's Vanessa Bruetta. I don't know how to say her last name, but she's Venezuelan.
Okay.
She's doing really good too. Courtney Love. I love her.
Shout out to Courtney.
Yes. Mariah Bradshaw. She's pretty cool too. Let me think. There's this other person I'm trying to think. Who was it? You know what? I'm sorry. All I got is 4 right now.
4? All right. The rest of y'all are 5.
Yes, everybody's
The
5.
rest of y'all are 5.
I'm
All
like,
right.
look, all I got is 4.
I'm not mad at it. Okay. So you're getting back into the modeling game now. So how do you transition back in after stepping away? What's the move?
So right now, it's honestly kind of getting back up with my social media because social media now has kind of taken over everything. When I first started modeling, it just was, just starting. Everybody was into Facebook and everything, and now it's like Instagram and everything else. So I've been connecting with a lot of photographers. Right now, I'm currently signed with another photographer.
Oh.
Yeah, she goes by like Queens of Boudoir.
Okay.
So it's more focusing on lingerie, more body empowerment. And I shoot with her like every other month or so.
Okay.
So that's been kind of like our start, kind of getting back into the swing of things.
That's dope. So you kind of have like an exclusive deal with a photographer that you're comfortable with.
Yes.
And it's a woman.
Yes, exactly.
That's got to be beneficial as well.
It is, because, you know, you have somebody there that can kind of understand what you're going through and be like, oh, well, you need to do this, just a little touch up here, a little hair fix or something like that, you know? So it's really nice to work with somebody who can understand your perspective.
Okay. I like that. So you just, and that has to be a major benefit to modeling as well, as the way the internet is now. Like, you almost don't need anybody.
Exactly.
You low key could shoot your own shit.
Exactly.
Like,
I'm not even gonna lie to you. I have a camera in my car.
Yeah.
So that way, like, if I wanted to come down to it and be like, okay, I'm gonna take my own pictures. Like, I learned how to edit pictures. I learned how to use Photoshops.
Yeah.
I learned how to do a lot of shit just so that way, if I need to create more content, I can do that on my own.
For sure.
You know?
Yeah, that's a key right there. Okay.
Exactly.
I got one more top 5 for you.
Okay.
Top 5 photographers.
Ooh, okay. Top 5 photographers. Well, I have to, you know, give one to my girl who I'm signed with, which is Queens of Boudoir. This other guy, he goes by Parsimony.
Okay.
I've worked with him a lot. He's actually really talented. Let me think. Sorry, man.
That's
I wasn't
okay.
ready to be on the spot.
That's all right.
Shit. Let me think. I've worked with a lot of real talented people. Like, some real talented people. I'm sorry, I only got 2.
Okay. All right. You can't give me any more? No more?
Honestly, if it pops up, I might just slip it into the conversation and be like, oh, yeah, these are the other people.
Okay. All right. That's fair enough. Okay. So you're working on it. You're working with what does being signed with a photographer look like? What's that? Is it just a partnership, or is it like, is it a non-compete? Can you not shoot with anybody else?
Yeah, so it's a non-compete only when it comes down to lingerie, swimwear, anything of that sort.
Okay.
But I can still work with other photographers such as beauty, editorial, you know, obviously being clothes, anything like that.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to more of that type of stuff, not with anybody else.
Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah. I was like, I've never done this before, and it's kind of nice because most of the time I like to do my own shit. I like to be my own boss and be in control of what I want to do and who I want to work with.
Sounds like a good deal. I mean, it sounds like a smart thing to do for sure.
Right. Especially as in like coming up again, you know, kind of going back into things. I was like, you know what? I like it. You know, it's a nice stepping stone. That's
Will you always stay based in Minnesota, or?
Yes.
Yeah. So you're not interested in doing the LA thing or anything like that?
I do.
If you want to do it, what I'm saying is if you do it, you'll go there and do it.
Exactly.
But this is home.
Exactly. This is home. At least for now. I mean, I do plan on hopefully moving soon. It's just wherever me and my partner can kind of come to an agreement on.
Okay. Yeah. That makes sense. Okay. All right. So the last part of the episode, and I feel like this could be really good for any young ladies out there that are looking to get into this industry.
Mm-hmm.
You being in it since you were 15 years old. So the last part is always the give them some game segment. So if you could just give some of these young ladies a little bit of game, maybe things to look out for, moves that they should make, moves that they shouldn't make. Just drop a little game on them.
So I think with this modeling industry that, honestly, don't do that mean girl act. I don't like when people are mean. I don't think that will get you far anyways. A lot of people, they let their heads get too big because they're doing these great things. That's good for them. That's great. But it's not going to get you any business because, you know, people talk. So when you sit here being like, oh, I think I'm better than all these people. Well, now you're just going to bring your credibility just a little bit lower because who's going to work with somebody who has a rude attitude?
So that's interesting. So keep
humble.
Keep a good attitude. Be humble.
Yeah, be humble. Be appreciative, you know. And not only that, but with modeling, though, make sure you have somebody with you when it comes to your first time shooting. You know, if you're going to go by yourself, have somebody to track your location, have somebody to know where you're at. So that way, if anything were to happen, they know who you're with, where the location is, everything.
It's sad that it has to be that way.
It is. It's really sad. But it's just because now how so many things are happening, you have to make sure you cover all your bases.
Absolutely.
You have to make sure, you know, like anytime I shot with somebody for the first time, I had somebody with me. And if they said no, you can't have somebody there, that was kind of a red flag for me.
Yeah.
Only because as a photographer, you want to respect the model space.
For sure.
You know, you want to make sure that person feels comfortable being with you, being around you. Otherwise, that's a red flag.
That's good game right there.
That's
Especially for some of these youngins.
That's a red flag because so many people are like, oh, this person wants to shoot with me. This person wants to work with me. And that's cool and all. Like, I'm happy for you. Make sure you're doing about it in a safe way.
Yeah.
Because there's too many situations where people are ending up with, you know, sexual harassment, ending up with just all these crazy things that could have been prevented.
Yeah, and I mean, not for nothing, it protects whoever you're working with as well.
Exactly.
Because anybody could go say that some photographer did some inappropriate shit when they really didn't, and now they're under fire. So photographers should really want that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Photographers should really, and if a photographer doesn't want that, red flag.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I guess, and my last tip for that would be just stay prepared. You know, keep some makeup with you. Keep, you know, any beauty things like baby oil. Sometimes they want you to look shimmery.
Sure,
you know,
yeah.
look, baby oil, baby oil lotion.
Right, yeah.
But you know, makeup for like minor touch-ups, anything like that. If you don't have a makeup artist at hand, brushes. You don't want no flyaways in your hair looking crazy.
Keep that shit on you.
Exactly. Keep that shit on you.
If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready.
Exactly.
I like it. Okay. Any more closing thoughts?
No, we all set.
All right,
we all good over here.
Where can they find you at?
They can find me on Facebook, Instagram at Storlie.
That's STORLIE, right?
Correct.
Okay. Well, I appreciate your time. I'm glad we could do this.
Yes, me too.
Glad we finally got to meet in person.
I know, right?
All right. That's it. Another episode of Minnesota's #1 daily show live on Lake Street. I'm Jake Fairclough. Follow me everywhere at Jake Fairclough.
Damn, Woody. In high school, I let it blam, Woody. I wasn't playing, Woody. I'm coming straight out the south. Hey, genius, best watch your mouth. When I put up on P&B right, then ain't he come out. You moving ounces, I just moved 100 things in a drought. You want the south side, outside the fence of your house. You talking all that, then wanna come talk it out. If you ain't talking money, you talking about.